and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Dubliners, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Goff. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. There's Goff. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Devin White in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Fighting him off. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Goff now looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football. How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On second down, a run by H.A. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing on third. Goff. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On now the Miami field goal unit. This from 36 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Take it at about the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks. Led to the tackled at about the 35. The numbers for Adams in last week's game: 16 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
10 touchdowns on the season for him, and I don't know whether these goals are written down. I don't know whether they're discussed amongst the team, but I do know this. Every guy who touches the ball as a ball carrier thinks 10 touchdowns is a nice round goal to try and reach in a season.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. You know, usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the second level, and now you've got a big place to run the football.
They run on second down with Adams. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Let's go now.
And Charles, it's not very often an elite back becomes available. They jumped on him. I think they were smart to do so.
I agree, and we hear so often about how the running back position is devalued. But when you have a chance to get one of the truly best, top of his game, you go out and get him.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Nighthawks have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. They'll try and throw for it. And he'll get into the end zone to make it a 5-point gain. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. And sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. But you look at this defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. One quarter in the books, 8-3 our score. Second quarter from Miami, it's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a fourth down coming up. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. It's fielded at the 45. Oh, he shifts past him. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of it. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. A run up the middle. Adams. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
To throw on 2nd down. Fletcher. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's going to make our score 15-3. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Dolphins getting set to go here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage?
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And taken right at the 35. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Dublin's offense now set to take over. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third down, they go with Adams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On the toss, running right is Adams. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll run again with Adams. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
First down,
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Swain, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
On 4th down, Fletcher. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
On first down, it's gone. Under pressure, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Second and 16 at the 11-yard line.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now Goff. And this one too low.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Running right, here's H.A. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On first down, this is Adams. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And now they're in the hurry-up. Slot man moves right. Again, here's Adams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Let's go, man. Let's go now.
This now a 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Fletcher. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And this one is right down the middle.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Here we go, tonight.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Extra point up and through. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This taken in right around the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. On 1st and 10, Goff. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now Goff. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. H.A. now up the middle. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll fake the give. Now gone. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Again, it's A-Chain. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon A-Chain, 45 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit. Goff looking to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Dublin's offense now set to take over. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the 3rd quarter. The drive starts with a handoff to Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 102 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Haas play. Here's Adams. A nice little juke. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A handoff, Adams running left. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On the ground, right side, it's Adams. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Here we go, Shaq.
They'll run on first down. Swain. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Up the middle they go with Adams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Adams on the draw. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. The draw play, this is Adams. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This has not been a fun game for this defense. They've definitely had their share of struggles, but they needed to make a play right there, and they finally get it done on 3rd and goal.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf with career touchdown number 109. That ties it with Barry Sanders on the all-time NFL list. And the Nighthawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. That time a 9-play drive. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Devon Achane in the offense ready to go once again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Here's Goff. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Go tonight.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Goff on first down. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw is Goff.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Covered by J.C. Horn.
Gone. In trouble, and he's taken down. Devin White, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. He sets to fire deep. And some space here.
Across midfield.
And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
So now here come the Dolphins.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Devin White in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. Throwing on 2nd and long. Goff. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Dublin's offense now set to take over. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
On to give, it's Adams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
148 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, Adams here. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Good gain there on first down and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a third down and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Now Adams. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Miami set to take over. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Now a first down throw. Gone.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Fletcher.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fletcher. And Shark calls it in. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Looking to throw. Fletcher fighting to stay upright. Dancing to it. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This fielded right at the goal line.
Fights off the tackle at the 20.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's gone.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Goff's throw caught by his receiver, Hill.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win.